I like to say one of the things that makes me a little bit of a different legal commentator than a lot of others is that I understand what white people are capable of. I've never forgotten what white people are capable of.
I've never been able to forget what black people are capable of. Yeah, right? You can immediately sense the online petitions being started. That's old Elie Mystal. Mystal like crystal.
Mystal rhymes with crystal.
These motherfuckers be making these crazy ass, fake ass names. Important, indignant, old Q-tip head motherfucker. He's been doing his rounds of recent. Listening to this man, it almost makes it sad to imagine this dude went to Harvard. This dude went to supposedly one of the most prestigious schools in the whole country and came out just worthless. Unless you consider destroying everything that made this country what it was a good thing, which I know there are some of those. So I'm sure there's some people who love him. Unfortunately, fortunately, I'm not one of those types. I think dude's a hypocrite. Dude's a clown. I think dude's a racist. Old boy fucking took himself to the Breakfast Club with those fucking mental giants.
What got you into studying constitutional law?
Well, I went to law school, and I hated it. I went to Harvard Law School, and you know, part of the legal training is like they say that they're going to make you think like a lawyer, right? So what that means is that they take the way you think, which was fine to me, and they break you, and then they try to build you back up in this new like legal way of understanding the world.
Marine Hell Week. See if you got what it takes or not. Because you want a particular type of thinking when it comes to being a lawyer. I'd assume lots of smarter motherfuckers than myself came way before me or Elie here. And I'd imagine they've got some real good arguments of why they do the things they do the way they do them. But of course, old boy here fucking with his afro pick fucking did a half-ass job on that fucking Q-tip he got there. Please, continue telling us how fucking going to Harvard was essentially equivalent to boot camp.
And I just never accepted the training. I like at every point when you're telling me that like, oh, well, this is how it's always been done. I'm always like, by the slavers?
I hate how these clowns do that to every dumb, stupid fucking point Yo thinks he made.
The slavers?
The slavers?
And that's why you feel like all laws before 1965 should be deemed unconstitutional?
I said presumptively unconstitutional, which is a legal dodge. I'm trying to lawyer my way around that.
It's Saul Goodman-esque with this dude, used car salesman type vibe. It could anger me at times. Like I try to like not get angry at things, especially things I can't control. This guy's entire worldview is through the lens of black and white. Oppressor oppressed. You just wonder how we ever get better. And you'll never do it with these types of people, and you'll never do it with the types of people that they're actually teaching and leading and like producing in this country. They could only see history in one way, and it's the worst way, and you are guilty of it. If you look like the people who did it, you're equally guilty, or maybe not equally, but close to equally, and you're in debt because of it.
But my fundamental premise is that before the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which I think is the most important piece of legislation ever passed in American history, this was functionally an apartheid country. The example that I'm using here is what they did in South Africa.
You sure you want to do that, Elie? You sure you want to use South fucking Africa as an example for anything? Hey.
Right? When South Africa got over apartheid, did they just go back to their Afrikaner racist constitution and be like, oh, we just need a couple of amendments. We just need a couple of changes here to make it work? No, they threw the whole thing out and started again, this time asking everybody.
No thanks. No thanks to all that. Holy fucking shit. You imagine you maybe threw out the Constitution tomorrow and we got fucking AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene bring up the ideas of what should be in the new Constitution. No, I'm good. I'm good and hard pass on all that.
Wow.
This time having a completely new delegation of all of the people of South Africa, not just the white folks, but not no white folks. And they came up with a new constitution. It's one of the reasons why the South African Constitution is generally thought of as one of the best constitutions in the world.
Have you ever heard that? I've never heard a single person on the fucking planet in my life say that. And it's generally thought of. Have you fucking paid attention to anything going on in South Africa in the last, 10, 20 years? It's civil war every hour. The entirety of South Africa is a fucking racist shithole. All this fucking bloviating my man's doing, it's wrong, it's a lie, and it's a complete rewriting of every fucking thing there ever was in South Africa.
White man, you must die! They must die! Like bitches!
Bro, that's recent. That's fucking recent, and that's a leader of one of like the political parties in South Africa. Bro, it is a racist fucking shithole down there. He would even think he's making a good point bringing up South Africa. Who to follow in a sense of fucking getting rid of any and everything fucking American before the Civil Rights Act is lunacy. People have the audacity to to his fucking thoughts about it, bro. Like, God forbid, bro.
And ours continues to be a piece of crap.
So what laws would you kick out immediately? What laws are you saying it needs to get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, so the first one I have in my book.
The first one, folks. The first one. This man could fucking have his pick of the litter. There's probably millions of them. Which one would you get rid of first? The most important. What could you imagine it is?
Is that I want to eliminate every single voter registration law. All of them. All of them in every state are bad, right?
Wrong. The fuck you mean, right? I hate motherfuckers that end a sentence with right. Right? I'm gonna make this claim, right? Huh, right? Of course it's right? No, it's wrong.
That's different from voter eligibility, right? We, I think, can all agree that there should be eligibility requirements, like an age requirement, right? You have to be 18 to vote. Yep. I might say 16, but I'm not gonna say 8. Right? I got an 8-year-old. Like, we don't want, no, they're not ready for that, right?
8-year-olds, they're not ready. Remember this. Remember this point right here. Thinking of an 8-year-old who could vote. Couldn't let that happen. Remember my dude's response to that.
People will say like, oh, well, we can't do that because of voter fraud, right? Well, first of all, and I know this is going to be hard for some listeners who spend a lot of time listening to Republican lies, but voter fraud does not exist. Voter fraud just doesn't exist. It's not a real thing.
That sentence alone should make you completely ignore anything this man would ever want to say in the rest of his fucking life. Voter fraud doesn't exist. Trump, when he won in 2016, when he lost in 2020, like there was, of course, competing arguments of who was cheated and who won and why they won. And the only thing I ever kept coming back to was, if the argument to me is, in today's political climate, that the people who are in the positions that could do something to help who they want to win, and they wouldn't do it, I'd say maybe 6 out of 10 might pass that test, but there's going to be the 4 out of that 10. 40%. I don't have any evidence to prove that. You can go Google all the cases of voter fraud across this country, city to city, state to state, because of course there is some. Somebody in a position to do what they could to help Trump lose, and they wouldn't do it. bro, go get a fucking afro pick for yourself, because you fucking need to air some of that shit out. I don't know, bro, but your shit is locked up and fucking spun out.
We shouldn't make laws based on protecting us from things that don't exist. Right? An analogy I've made is like...
Oh, an analogy. I have no doubt this analogy will clear up any questions you might have had about voter fraud being a thing or not. Kind of like Destiny. As soon as Destiny opens his mouth with, so what you're saying is, or it's like A or B, it's never like either of those.
Like if, let's say I want to go fishing. I want to go fishing that lake. And the government says, no, you can't fish there. And I say, why? And they say, because the Loch Ness Monster might get you. Like, get out of my face with that. Shut up. That's stupid. We're not going to restrict my right to fish because of a thing that doesn't exist. So that's number one.
What the fuck is this analogy? What the I'm going to assume anybody with an ounce of fucking reason realizes that voter fraud is very real and that it can happen, it will happen, and it has happened, and it will happen again. Just because you claim it's not a thing and then make an analogy of, it'd be like if I wanted to go fishing and motherfuckers told me I couldn't because the Loch Ness Monster was in there. That's stupid. You can't tell me that. No, bro, your analogy's fucking retarded.
Well, question, do you feel like all elections have been free and fair? Because people will say, Democrats will say the 2016 election was stolen, and then some will say they feel like this one was stolen.
Big picture, we haven't had a single free, fair election in this country, ever.
Voter fraud is not a thing. But we've never had a free and fair election ever. But voter fraud is not a thing. Bro, how convenient is that? It's everything you believe. It's convenient when you want it, and when you don't want it, you just throw it away and ignore it. That is like peak fucking lefty shit at this point. Yes, of course, there are those on the right who do it too. But like, that is so peak modern lefty when one sentence can say voter fraud doesn't exist and it's not a thing, and in the very next sentence, well, no, we've never had a free and fair election in America ever.
Do y'all like flying?
Yes.
You love flying?
I do.
You like flying? I hate flying. It is like the worst. It is always the worst day of my life.
Why do you think old boy here hates flying? How could you tell? Could you tell just by if you got the side-by-side shot of Elie next to Charlemagne? This dude is like 5 Charlemagne, the dingbat gods. You know why my man hates flying. It's painfully obvious.
Why?
Well, I'm fat, so I gotta squeeze myself into a small ass seat that ain't built for me. I got somebody's, seat back right into my lap. I can't eat nothing.
The seatbelt extender.
Right, I gotta get the most embarrassing moment of my life every time I have to do it. Ma'am, can I have a seatbelt extender? I'm a fatty.
A seatbelt extender? I've never. Ma'am, I need a seatbelt extender. And talk about the seat being so close. You being as fucking behemoth as you are closer to that seat in front of you than the seat in front of you is to you. They only go back so far. It's not like they completely recline, sitting in there with all that gut in your seatbelt extender. I know that motherfucker's probably sitting right in your belly.
Please, and then I have to right, and then I cry on the inside, right? The food's expensive, the liquor sucks, the service sucks. I'm always delayed, my bags get lost. It is miserable.
Take a goddamn train. You're doing it for the convenience. Holy fucking shit, bro. All these things you just listed off are reasons that you should just drive, take a bus, take a fucking train, hire a fucking private goddamn jet or something. I'm sure you're getting paid real goddamn well. All these speaking engagements that you do. But with the convenience of it, you still do it. Fucking cry me a river. Or lose some goddamn weight.
It didn't always used to be this way. Flying used to be awesome. Spacious seats, good service, kind people, and they weren't nickel and diming you at every point.
You mean when the world was a different place, when fucking flying first was invented. But it was a whole nother universe. Culture was different. Society was different. When you start talking about how nice it used to be, society is crumbling at the seams. When we lose all sense of community, society, what we are, who we are, what we should be, you get the type of people we get that old Elie fucking Mystal here fucking preaches for. Focused on nothing but race and fucking social injustices. Meanwhile, the whole world's spinning on without you.
And the reason why it used to be great and now it's not is this thing called deregulation.
Oh, this should be really good. Oh, this should be fucking really good. Give us an argument for why the government should come in and run it all, right? Hey.
So it used to be one of the most heavily regulated industries in the country with literal price fixing. Literally, the government set the maximum price that you could charge for certain routes.
And I bet you had 50 planes in the whole fucking country. You're talking about 2 different worlds. Bro, go watch them old movies from the 50s, 40s even. Fucking motherfuckers flying, bro. They was wearing tuxedos and shit. Take flight from San Fran to New York City. Motherfuckers are doing that shit in their PJs and their coach purses, fucking cussing out everybody on the way to their seat. Bro, we're talking about 2 different fucking universes. It has nothing to do with regulation or deregulation. Bro, things change. Things get bigger. Things get different. Things fall apart, things get better. That's the fucking, that's just the roll of the dice of, society in general. We've lost all sense of standards. Every standard in the fucking world has just been shitted on and forgotten. Everybody's looking for why it's the way it is, and they can't focus on, the actual issues and the real reasons why it is. Elie fucking Mystal fucking here ain't doing it. Yo is just another top of the fucking heap racist assholes.
And I know conservatives, Republicans, even a lot of Democrats are like, price fixing, that's terrible. That stops innovation. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it fucking does. You ultimately get the changes and the things with prices coming down, companies getting better, companies getting worse. It's all competition. If you don't want to buy what they're selling, don't fucking buy it. Go somewhere else. At least in today's fucking country, you got options. That's why you got a $60 flight from San Francisco to Atlanta. You might be packed in there like sardines, but that's the price you're gonna fucking pay for a convenience of a 5-hour fucking trip that would normally take you 2.5, 3 fucking days to drive. You're talking about far more complicated things that I think your Q-tip brain could ever comprehend. Mr. Harvard here, Mr. I'm going on getting paid $25,000 for a speaking engagement.
It makes flying a public service and it makes it easy for people to get around the country. Airline jobs used to be good jobs, baggage handlers and flight attendants and pilots. Pilots used to be one of the best jobs you could get.
So did a lot of other jobs and are now no longer jobs. That's every fucking thing you could think of. You're talking about a world, 100 fucking planes, 100 fucking pilots. To today, it's thousands upon thousands. You got more fucking pilots than you fucking need. So motherfuckers are gonna offer less. If it's not what you feel is worth what you are doing, you don't take it. You go work somewhere else. I'd rather live in a world with options, with not the best fucking options, than one option. The only option is the government, and all they do is fuck it up. They don't make it better. You couldn't name me a single organization that the government runs that they've made better. There's not one. They don't fucking exist.
And with market forces, with deregulation, those good jobs got slashed. Tell people, like, you're not going to get ahead economically, you're going to be poor, you're going to be struggling, but you're going to be better off than that black person over there.
That's right.
Bro, whose platform is this you're talking about? I don't know a single motherfucker like running on that platform. Hey man, you might not be doing too great, but you'll be better than them blacks. At least you won't be as bad as the blacks. Fucking Wizard of Oz, straw man shit.
They're gonna be like, okay, sign me up, Trump. Like that's how it happens. You tell white folks that they're gonna have nothing, but they're gonna have a little bit more than black folks, and white folks will sign up for it.
No. And fuck this racist world y'all want to fucking actually create. Bro, I hate racists. If you're a racist, and see race through everything, I actually fucking despise you as a person. I think you're sick, you're fucking confused, you're ignorant, you're dangerous. Motherfuckers, who are so fixated on race. I hate race, separating people by fucking skin color. You might as well do it by fucking legs. You only got one leg? Oh, I don't fuck with one-legged motherfuckers, man. They, you should have had 2 legs. Fuck that. Like, we're all people. We're all fucking humans. Let the fucking race shit go, dude.
It's like the difference between sending your kids to a school and sending your kids to a factory, right? If you send them to a school, I have a vote, I have a say in how that school's run and what my kids should be taught and how they should be treated. If I send my kids to the factory, all I gotta say is in their paycheck, right?
Gotcha.
Who's sending their kids to the factory? Why is this even an example? These people and their analogies are just always so Looney Tune. If you send your kid to the factory, dude, ain't nobody sending their fucking kid to a goddamn factory. At least not in America. At least not in the last 40 fucking years when they made all the labor laws that they have. Get the fuck out of here, bro. And like, funny enough, like, I could imagine a world where a 15-year-old might want to work. Of course, I know it's not all. Most of these kids are fucking mega lazy at this point. But there are kids who know the value of a dollar, who know the value of work, of earning it, and some fucking kids don't mind doing it. But in today's world, it's near impossible for a kid to even, like, start that path at 15 or 16. I'm just wondering, like, who the fuck you're even talking about. If you send your kids to the factory, who the fuck are you talking about?
And I'm using child labor because Trump wants to do that now, too.
Have you heard about this? Trump wants to do what? Child labor what? Bro, the intake of the things they're actually hearing, listening, and talking about all day is like, I don't follow this guy. Like, I see him randomly. He's hard to miss with his dumbass hair it is. They're surrounded by such propagandists, such liars. This is never going to get better. This world, everything that we built, all the progress, me growing up as the kid that I did in the 90s, and how I'd imagine that was like the last true great generation. We're not going to be racist. We're not going to be sexist. We're not going to be judging people for things they can't control, and how we should want to work together, make the town a better place, the street, the county, the state. I can't control anything that's past in the past. I can only control what me and you do here today, and how we should be wanting to work together. People like old Elie here, bro, it's impossible. When starts this whole thing out with, I can't forget the things white people are capable of. All humans are capable of horrific, terrible things. White, black, purple, fucking green. That's what makes us human.
Like, well, that's fine. Why does a 3rd grader need to learn about gay people? Why can't they just learn about reading and writing, right? And I'm like, do y'all have 3rd graders? Like, I got a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, right? They talk about all this stuff. They're not in a kind of lascivious, sexual way, but they're interested in how these things work, right?
And some of them are given books with incredible pornographic type shit in there in the 4th and 5th grade. The internet, what they're seeing, like, that's not an argument that it's okay just because, like, they're getting flooded with it from every angle. It's how we normalize shit that ain't normal. We should be focused on letting kids be kids, growing them, teaching them, guiding them the way that'll be a healthy, long life for all of them. This shit ain't it. How a motherfucker on one hand can tell you, oh, I don't want an 8-year-old voting for the national election here. But
And it's
I wondered, would they be if they weren't taught about it in schools or showing it on television?
Yeah, because they just see it in their daily lives, right? And so I use the example: if I'm a school teacher and I've got my wife and I have a picture of me and my wife on my desk at school, the kids see that it's me and my wife, that it's a man and a woman, right? If I'm a gay school teacher and I have a picture of me and my husband on the desk, they see that that's different. They see that it's a man and a man. And
that's every reason to keep your personal life out of the school. Straight, gay, whatever. You're not there to like be their mother. Gotten rid of all standards. We've gotten rid of all testing. We've dumbed it all so down to like the lowest common denominator. It's just pushing these kids through. You just imagine half these kids can't read. Cannot fucking read. Leave that shit at the house. That's the fucking argument. Leave your life at the house.
And they might have a question about that. And in Florida, I'm not allowed to say. Why?
You didn't read the bill, Mr. Lawyer. Fuck out of here.
And so you act like it, people act like it's neutral, but it's not. It is what the scholars call heteronormative. It's pushing the man and the woman, that's the normal way of doing it, and the man or the woman and woman, that's just crazy and weird.
Man and woman, normal. Man and man, not. Me saying anything against gay people, lesbians, that's just like a matter of fact. It's just a matter of nature. It's a matter of biology. Heteronormative or not, that will forever be normal. If up in tomorrow, like a fucking EMP destroyed everything in the world, and we all just went back to caveman type shit, the cave fucking dwelling motherfuckers that are man and woman, they'll probably survive. They'll fucking make some kids, make a family, get a little village. The motherfuckers that are man and man, within, 30 years, they're fucking dead. And it's not because they're crazy and weird, it's because they're abnormal. They're not natural. Therefore, they would pay that ultimate price for it. So, yeah.
So what do you think about, Trump's transgender bill where it's just two genders, this, that, and the other? What is your thoughts on that?
It's again, biologically, it's not true.
Says Mr. Q-tip lawyer.
There are people who are different. That's just a biological fact. We can pretend. People think that...
Is it biological or neurological?
Man, I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Like, motherfuckers that are deaf and mute don't need to be a scientist to understand. There's male and female. And then claim, oh man, I'm not a scientist. Like fucking cornball Bill Burr screaming free Luigi. Yo gets asked a question to be like, hey bro, like what are you doing? Like, talk about free Luigi. I don't study that shit. Oh, I don't even watch the news. I barely graduated high school. You get asked a clarifying question about it. Oh, I'm not a scientist. You don't need to be a scientist. Male and female. You can complicate it all you'd like. And yes, people are different. Everybody's different. Every fucking person on this goddamn planet is different. It doesn't then negate biological fact. Got a Q-tip? May want to use that motherfucking pick for your ears. Get some of that motherfucking wax out of there.
Because I said neurological because you can think you're in the wrong body, but I'm not going. That's not biologically the fact.
Man, I don't know.
Biologically, it's men and women.
No, I don't think that's right.
You're like tiptoeing around this, bro. Is every fucking like every case in point that like you need to like see that like these people don't believe anything they say. They just know what they're not allowed to say, and they try to bob and weave and like lawyer around the shit. We're even still having this goddamn conversation. I'd imagine they're on the wrong side of history as this unfolds and unfolds. It will be shown that like they've been bamboozled, they've been lied to, they've been sold just complete fucking bukkake with this shit. You can watch him just like he doesn't know what to say. I'm not sure if that's right. Yeah, no, it is right. It's male and female.
I think that there are. Again,
there's something other than a man and woman.
We have aliens.
Joe said aliens.
We have aliens.
We have aliens. So it's male, female, and aliens. That's the third. That's a third biological fact from the Breakfast Club.
You're getting me away from the law, but
I'm just asking.
As I understand it, there are people who are born with female hormones in male bodies, right?
No, that's not true, actually. And that isn't what would make a male born with female hormones a female. Yo, it's XXXY. Are there variations of XXXY? Sure, but like,
vice versa. And they want to express how they feel inside as opposed to how they look on the outside. But I think the larger point is not just that I don't know. The larger point is I don't care.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, there you go, there you go. Most people don't either. It's when you start fucking with the kids that they really do. That's what crossed the line for me, because I didn't give a fuck for a real long time. To this day, with adults, I generally don't give a fuck. It's when you start fucking with kids, hurting little girls and the things they're working for, getting taken away by boys. That's when like reasonable, normal adults just start saying, okay, well now I gotta care. You know, I don't want to care. I really don't want to care. But if you're gonna start making changes to the world that like I know to be wrong, you're gonna get motherfuckers that care really fucking fast.
It's not me. I'm the way that I am, right? I don't care how it doesn't affect me. Just
I shouldn't have an argument for or against it. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. With the race stuff, like they'd be the first to tell you, well, it doesn't affect you, but you should care because it's affecting other people. Consistency is not a value of the modern left. Like, you could use that with everybody. I get it, generally. But the modern left is the most inconsistent group of people you could ever imagine. Like, the biggest hypocrites on the fucking planet.
somebody else being trans doesn't make me think, oh man, maybe I should be trans. I always wanted to wear nice hats. Like that's not how my whatever.
I want to be trans because I want nice hats. Did that win you over? Was that a firm, sound argument from old Harvard lawyer?
I tell a story in the book about in my kids' class, one of the kids in my younger kids' class came out as a boy after being a girl.
At what age?
I want to say 8.
Okay.
Here we go. The same 8-year-old, he don't want voting in election. Oh, no, we can't have you voting. You don't know what's going on. But this 8-year-old does.
And, you know, the parents were just like, blah, 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 blah. How does one really? How is that? The kids were just like, yeah, whatever. It's Ramses now.
Kids are quick to do whatever. Kids don't care. People around them like pushing them in the direction of like, this is how you need to act. Because kids don't know any better. Kids won't know any better for a real long time. That's why. And that's why we don't listen to kids how we should handle things that their brains aren't able to comprehend. I just don't get how like these motherfuckers use these arguments. It's just so inconsistent. That's like the only word I keep coming back to. Oh, it affects me. You don't have something to say about it. It doesn't affect me. Who am I to say so? But hey, this doesn't affect you, but you should care about it. Nobody gets to dictate to me what I care about and what I don't. That's the beauty of being human. It's the beauty of fucking being a goddamn man.
It used to be Cleopatra. It's Ramses now.
But
he's
at
cool.
8, though?
That's not between the school and the kid. I don't have a say.
I just don't think an 8-year-old should be making that decision.
Man, my kids go to a progressive school where, like, if my kid came in and said, I want to be called Ketchup today, they would call him Ketchup. For, like, they would call him what the kid wants to be called. And I think that's just the natural thing to do.
Hey, bro, I'm Ketchup now. Bro, this motherfucker went to Harvard. This is Harvard. This is like, bro, it's on everything he writes. Harvard fucking attended. Fucking Elie Mystal. Rhymes with Crystal, don't you know?
Somebody comes and tells you their name, you say their name, right? You don't say, actually, you're Cassius Clay. No, you say you want to be Muhammad Ali today. Guess what? You get to be Muhammad Ali today.
Oh my God, yo. Well, you want to be Cassius Clay, but you can't be Cassius Clay. But you want to be Muhammad Ali? Okay, so we'll call you Muhammad Ali. Okay, catch up. Okay, catch up.
The school say I'm Batman. They gonna call your kid Batman?
They're going to call my kid Batman.
If you got a kid in that school, get them the fuck out. God forbid your kid go in there and talk about, yo, my name's Bruce Wayne from now on. The Dark Knight. Call me fucking Batman.
You might start going to different bathrooms.
You might start
which
going
would
to
make the
different
other women, which make women uncomfortable.
Tell the kids uncomfortable.
Yeah, the other 8-year-old girls.
All right.
They're only 8, Elie.
We're talking about this from the perspective of making things more comfortable for the heteronormative.
You mean just the normal kids? We're not worried about making them comfortable. You know, we got to worry about the ones that want to change the rules, be called Ketchup tomorrow. The Harvard lawyer, y'all.
Kids in the school. We also should be talking about this in terms of making things more comfortable for the trans kids in the school. Because as much as we might say it might be uncomfortable for the trans girl in the girls' bathroom for the other girls, imagine how uncomfortable it is for the trans girl in the boys' bathroom as they hit puberty. And
No, bro. We're talking about 8-year-olds. Don't throw that last little going through puberty shit, bro. Man, we're talking about fucking kids in elementary school. We're talking about children who still believe in Santa Claus and the fucking Easter Bunny, bro. Bro, this dude's a clown. He's dangerous and he's a fucking hypocritical liar. Fucking clown shit, bro. And it's just, it's frustrating. If some people had it their way, this would be the guy teaching the nation. Tell us how to live, Elie Mystal. Tell us the way to a fucking rich fucking future for all of us. This dude is a hateful, racist fucking bigot.
And we know, and again, this is not me making it up. We know, statistically speaking, that trans women are the most likely people to be brutalized, to be murdered, to be beaten up, to be victims of domestic violence in this country.
That's not what we're talking about at the moment. We're talking about little girls in elementary school that now got boys coming in their bathroom who think they're girls. Little fucking children in goddamn elementary school, bro. Like, fuck you. A lawyer. These people are lawyers, bro. Harvard fucking taught and trained lawyer. Talking this shit like it's wow, bro.
So if you're telling me that we can potentially save some trans kids from that fate, and the cost is that some girls have to be a little bit uncomfortable in a bathroom at a high school, that is a trade that I am willing to make, and that is a trade that I think society should be willing to make.
Fuck that. I'm not fucking trading shit for that. And I love how, you went from 8 years old to the high school. That's not the trade-off I'm ever gonna make. You girls feel uncomfortable, and all this bad stuff happens to all these other people. We're not talking about this kid. We're talking about all these other people that we have no idea why any of the things happen to them. But we're just gonna put it under this umbrella that they're connected to that somehow. And if you gotta be uncomfortable, little girls, just deal with it. Cope, because old Q-tip dickhead fucking told you so. Like, fuck you, bro.
I respect everybody's right to live, but I don't want to have this conversation no more. Like you said, what you said earlier is true. I don't care.
You see him struggling to verbalize getting through this, and you're just trying to throw the man a lifeline. I'll never get how white people become racist and fucking think like being white is any fucking thing, and it's the same for the blacks. Hebrew Israelites. You are every fucking thing I'm against.
Especially a sect that this country, that people think are deserving of cruelty and shame and a lack of dignity, whether it's trans people or new immigrants or whatever. People who think black people deserve to get the boot up the ass.
What the fuck are you talking about? These straw men, bro, where like the implication is just, this is everybody on the right. These are the Republicans he's supposedly, I guess, talking about, who want to give blacks, the gays, the transes, the boot up the fucking ass. That's not me. It's not anything I've ever advocated for. It's never anything I would advocate for. Bro, like, I'm all for helping people, but I help people when I want to help people. I help people until I don't want to help you anymore. And that's what I would advocate other people do. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. Don't let anybody take your kindness for a fucking weakness. Help when you can help someone. Help someone you feel deserves the fucking help, who respects and appreciates the help you're fucking giving them.
Look, guys, we live in a country where you can get snatched up off the street for writing an article in the newspaper. And as a person who writes articles in newspapers, this is something that has really worried me and really changed and affected how I think about my job and my life. And we can say, well, it only happened to green card holders. Yeah, now, so far.
You got nothing to be goddamn worried about. That dude wasn't a fucking American citizen. And he was fucking guilty of far more dumbass shit than writing a goddamn article. Like, I'm assuming dudes talk about the kid from Colombia, the actual ringleader, fucking like boss man of every fucked up thing that happened in Colombia. That's my assumption. Like, I didn't really care enough to fucking actually find out who he's talking about. He's trying to like compare himself to like that, when they come for the Jews, I wasn't Jewish, I didn't say anything, but then they came for the liberals, and I didn't say anything because I wasn't a liberal. He's trying to put himself in that same category where it's like, bro, nobody's worried about you, bro. Where the fuck are they gonna send you? Like, you're fucking an American goddamn citizen. That dude wasn't. That dude came over here and did nothing but start shit and fuck shit up. Like, I wouldn't let you here neither. They wouldn't let you go to his country and do what the fuck that kid did. Start looking at grown-ass men who argue like they just, like, emotionally, they never got past, like, the 8th grade. And I'm telling you, old boy fucking lived a bougie fucking life. Pampered, bubbled, fucking bougie goddamn life. Got his fucking afro pick in there like he's fighting a struggle or something. Like, yo went to private schools. Yo went to Harvard. Yo ain't never struggled a day in his fucking life, but has brainwashed his goddamn self with the help of every fucking apparatus across this goddamn country. Feeds into this narrative. Our history is nothing but ugliness, and all we ever did was fuck each other up. Now we just need payback or a little bit of revenge just to get even, just a little bit. Like South Africa fucking is doing. Everybody killing every fucking body. I don't want to live in that world. You're not gonna hold me guilty for something I didn't fucking do. I'm not gonna hold you guilty for something you didn't fucking do. That's respect between me and you. For the motherfuckers that can't, fucking eat shit and pick your dumbass fucking afro out already.